Hello guys, this is the SWTOR guy here and welcome back to another behind the scenes, and this time I have another special guest, none other than Empress Aviriia itself, the queen of ranked PvP. How are you, Aviriia?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I'm pretty fine. How about you?
Really good. This is the first time I'm actually received that question back. Before we gonna get into any other topics, I want to know, or some of you not know Aviriia too well. So I would like you to introduce yourself. What are you doing, and yeah, what stuff do you make?
Well, for the people that don't know me, I am Aviriia. I'm a Twitch live streamer. As you said, I do a lot of PvP. And yes, the people who might know me, like I'm a lot on Twitch. I stream like 3 days a week, maybe like even more to be honest.
Mm.
So yes, like I think you'll find out who I am later in the questions.
So before we gonna go in, I want to know your past about the games and stuff like that, gaming in general. So first off, how did you get into gaming? How did you get into the gaming industry?
Well, I actually got into the gaming industry when I was like 4 years old. Like I started playing on Pokemon. Like Pokemon Red was my
Mm-hmm.
favorite
Oh
game,
yeah.
and it was not really because of the gaming part, but it was mostly about the story part. Like, oh, I'm going on an adventure, and all the stories that were being told.
Mm-hmm.
Like through these stories, I also got into other platforms, like on the PlayStation 3 and now PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And through the role playing part, like the RPG part, I also got into roleplay and cosplay itself.
Nice.
And like that is basically it's a long story short. And I also started off playing Star Wars: The Old Republic as a role player, and I basically became more of a gamer through all the content being given in
Nice.
this game.
Nice. That is awesome. You mentioned a lot of games, so try to remember some games that you played and pick yourself or pick up some of your first games that you played back in the day.
The games that I played back in the days, like Pokemon, I was a very big Pokemon fan. So
Mm.
Pokemon Red, Pokemon
Gold.
Ruby, Gold, indeed. All those games. On the PlayStation, Assassin's Creed, lots of
Oh
Assassin's
yeah.
Creed. Even on the GameCube with Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon Gale of Darkness. Like I used to be a giant Pokemon fan. And people are like, "Ah, you're a girl. You like Pokemon? What's going on?" But I absolutely loved it.
That's
Like
nice.
like I actually got into Star Wars when I was around the age of 12. Like I was pretty late while discovering Star Wars.
Well,
But it's a lot of roleplay stories, lots of roleplay games that I was playing.
pick some of them. For example, you mentioned Pokemon and stuff like that. You remember those so well. So pick up some games that you remember that actually infected you the most, or actually remember it for the rest of your life. For example, like Pokemon or even Star Wars: The Old Republic, like those games.
The games that I really can remember that actually got me into console gaming and through console gaming also like PC gaming is actually through the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
It was Pokemon, I think Pokemon Colosseum, and after that Pokemon Gale of Darkness. Those are the kinds of games that I played a lot. I love the role playing part of it, and there's also like a gaming aspect in it because you had to play the game to
Mm-hmm.
get through the content and the story of it.
Nice. Uh,
And after those games, I started to play like Assassin's Creed, and through Assassin's Creed, I also played this game. It's not really a game, but it was like a community called Hub Hotel.
mhm.
And through Hub Hotel, I got into Star Wars. And through
Nice.
Star Wars, I got into SWTOR. And here I am.
Now the big question: why Star Wars? Because there's so many other franchises like you can stuck into like Pokemon or even Lord of the Rings or whatever. Why do you love the Star Wars universe?
I love the Star Wars universe. That it's like it's really big. I got into it when I was around 11, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, through this like to hotel, like we had this role play area with role players, and I used to be one of the room builders. So I basically was creating rooms for the people to role play in. And then like a Star Wars, like a friend of mine came to me and he was like, "You should build something for the Star Wars community." Because I actually used like there was this movie called Avatar with the blue people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I created like this role playing like dungeon room for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to build it for them, and I was like, I don't know what Star Wars is. Like, I saw pictures of like Yoda and Darth Vader, and I had no clue what they were talking about. And they were like, "Oh, you should just watch the movies, just do it." So I basically started off with 1, 2, or 3. Like, I was a giant Jar Jar fan back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't shoot me for it.
No,
But
I
those are
won't.
the first like movies that I watched.
Alright.
And it's like, oh, there's like so much things, and they have this cool power called Force, and oh my god, they have lightsabers, and it's good and evil, and oh my god! And I basically, I took the big dive, and I'm still in it, and I think I will love it till my very last day.
You need to. I mean, those. I'm really not the one who's talking to like other persons. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of stuff, but those who are especially love Star Wars, those are like I can get along big time because we can talk about a lot of stuffs about Star Wars, about the universe, about the games. And speaking of games, what other Star Wars games did you played or playing right now? So obviously you're playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, that is obvious. But what other Star Wars games did you play?
I've played Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, 1 and 2. It's actually quite a while ago. Like, I did once, like, The Force Unleashed 1 when the servers were down, but I used to play those on the Wii back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not really play that many Star Wars games because they're mostly involving like shooters and you're like playing as a stormtrooper, you had to shoot people. And I was like, I am terrible at shooters, and my family was like, "You're a girl, please don't play shooters. That's something for boys." You can also guess it. Like when I first got into Star Wars, they were like, "Do you really like Star Wars?" I'm like, yes, I really like Star Wars. So it's actually mostly the role playing games that I loved,
Like the
like
Force
KOTOR,
yeah, KOTOR.
partially KOTOR, KOTOR 2, KOTOR 1, those kind of games.
How about the Empire at War, like the strategy game?
I've never played it.
Okay. Did you heard the previous Star Wars games, like the Star Wars Galaxy, the previous MMO before SWTOR?
SWTOR was my very first game for the computer.
Okay, okay, nice.
I never played Galaxies. Like, I know lots of friends who played Galaxies.
Okay.
I've watched videos about Galaxies, but yeah, I never played it.
You mentioned consoles before. Now, tell me what consoles did you had and what games did you played in that? It's like all of the consoles. So you mentioned the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy, and obviously Pokemon and the PlayStation, what, 2 or 3? With playing
3?
playing Assassin's Creed. What others did you had or have?
The Wii.
Oh.
Like, I had the Zelda game. Like, I like the Wii. I also got the Force Unleashed on the Wii. Of the consoles, as long when the games are good.
Mm-hmm.
But I came to a point, like, I prefer to stick in one game. I love it so much that I will play it only, than jumping from console to console from game to game.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And I never really bought that many games, but if I bought a game, I loved it. I was playing it, and I wouldn't stop playing it.
So pretty much we'll stuck into that game and we'll pretty much not going anywhere until you finish it 100%.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that's pretty much right.
Now, I want to ask you about your first PC. So how old are you when you actually received an actual PC and that is actually yours?
My actually first computer, I have to think about it. I think I was around 12 years old when I went to high school. Because it came to a point like you had to make homework on the computer, and my family was like, okay, we actually got to give her computer now, or a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off with a computer first, but it turned out to be, it was my computer. But in the end, my father was on it and my mother was on it, and I was like, it's not my computer anymore. And then I actually got my laptop. which was just, I think it was a Dell or an Acer. It was a cheap one. I
Mm-hmm.
was also the computer where I played Star Wars Republic on for the
Mm-hmm.
very first time, and it was not a game at all.
So
I
your actual first game on your PC was like actually Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like this PC, what you have is your first game. What you played is pretty much SWTOR, right?
Yes, I started playing SWTOR. Like I was more into the consoles and like Game Boys. Like I also had the DS, and
Mm-hmm.
I I've never really got into PC gaming. It was like I heard all those stories like console wars, and I was like, I will just stick to the things that I love.
Yes.
And then I really loved Star Wars, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I need a better computer for it. And I also upgraded later on. Like I basically got the choice of my family. Like, are you going with us on a holiday, or are we gonna buy you a better school computer where you can also play games on?
Mm-hmm.
The choice was obvious.
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, you came into the actually on the right place. I believe there was like tons of old school PCs what we can talk about, but it this age right now and this state like the PC states right now, it's actually really good to just come into this and playing what you love. Pretty much, you don't want to waste money and time and effort to go into a game what you actually like don't want to play. Like, let's just say it. If you have a
That's
if you have a really decent like PC and stuff like that, just stick what you want and stick what you love, pretty much. And
That's right. Like right now, I've lots of friends going from this game to the other game. Like, oh, you should buy it too. And it's like, I'm looking on Steam. It's like $60, and I'm like, I will spend $60, and I'm not even sure if I will like it.
yeah.
Well, I'm subscribed to Star Wars. I love Warzones. I love the content. I love Operations.
Mhm.
Why should I trade it in and change the like the lovely community, the people, like the friends, in for like a
Mhm.
game that only one or two people play, and I might even like the game.
Exactly, exactly. If you really get into this, like, and actually, if you guys don't watch her streams and stuff like that about the Warzone, first of all, it's on the description, and second of all, you should check it because she's doing like awesome stuff. So I remember not so long ago, I think on this week, when she like on the Asian hypergrade ninja cap 1 or 2 points on his on her assassin. It was really fun to watch it.
It was twice. It was. I think it was 2 days ago. It was amazing. I thought I couldn't do it, and I did it, and I was like, I did it. it was
Yeah,
it was really nice.
it was really nice. Yeah. Now let's go into a little bit more personal. Now, obviously, you're 21, and I don't think you had or have any jobs, right? Is that correct?
No, I actually got out of school. I had to drop out. I will get into it later. But
Uh,
I don't really have a job. Like the only job that I'm sort of having right now is Twitch. And
yeah.
I'm also a photographer, so I do like small jobs on the side for like a
Hmm.
little bit of money, like with photography and Photoshop. But
Hmm.
I'm not having a job.
So my question is, if you gonna grow up like later, like 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 years ago, what is your dream job to get?
I love to create. I love to do something in creating content, creating entertaining other people, creating pictures. Like I love to create. I am quite creative, as you probably can guess. Like I love entertaining. I love entertaining by the things that I'm making. I don't really see myself ending up like behind a cash desk or in a factory or in a shop. I'm like, I want to do something. I want to create and make people happy or make, yeah.
That's of
I'm not
course.
sure what I want to do. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I want to do something
That is a
creative.
great start. Like that is a great start. If you want to entertain people, that is like one of the good ways. Like you can be like a comedy girl who can just go into stages and have some people laugh and stuff like that. That's a start as well. Or just in which pretty much the same with games and stuff like that. You can entertain it. That is a great start. Don't get me wrong,
It
but
is.
that is a really good start. A lot of people don't see this as like a job, and we not see this as a job as well right now. But we love it. Like we have tons of hobbies and stuffs like that, and this is one of them. And we love doing this because of the community or because the people who are turning in. And if you guys enjoy it, we're gonna enjoy it. So that is the main point.
Like seeing people happy makes me happy. That's
Yes.
also my motto.
That is a nice motto. Now, I want to ask you about one of your favorite things in your life, I think, and it's gonna be your dog, Roxy. So, when did you get the dog, and how did you get Roxy?
I got Roxy on the 16th of June this year. She just turned 5 months old. Is born on the 26th of April. So she's like a tiny puppy. Like I think you're also gonna put a picture in the screen how she looks like. This is
Mm-hmm.
Shiba Inu,
Mm-hmm.
and I am in love with Shiba Inus for quite some years. And my
Mm-hmm.
family was pretty much anti dogs. They were like, we were not allowed to even have dogs where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm living above an apartment family. I'm still living at home.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this rule with only cats were allowed, and
Oh.
like tiny rabbits kind of things, like a rabbit or like guinea pig, but
Oh.
no dogs. And I finally managed to change this rule. I was like, I really want to have a dog, guys. I'm not a child anymore. Can I please have an own dog? Like when I'm gonna move out, she's gonna go with me, but just a small dog who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't bark a lot. Which is true, Chibas don't bark this often,
Mm-hmm.
and it has taken me half a year, but I finally got her.
Nice, nice. And did you teach her a lot of things, or you just pretty much see how it goes? But pretty much you taking care of
Um,
your dog, obviously. But did you teach her some stuffs, or how is it going? Like,
I actually taught her last week how to do a high five on the window.
oh, nice, nice.
It's really awesome, but yes, we got her to puppy course not so
Mhm,
long ago,
mhm,
and it turned out that this woman we were like having those lessons at, like, was a big class lesson, and she was
mhm,
awful. At first, because she is training dogs without any kind of treats, so without getting food rewards.
mhm.
And I love this option because I don't want to just basically just bribe the dog. Like, if you want to do something, I'm gonna give you candy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really want to have this kind of relation with my dog.
Yes. Yes.
But,
Yes.
like, I love that about her classes, but
Mhm,
she was very harsh at the dogs. Like,
mhm.
if the dog didn't do something that they wanted, like she would basically just pull on the leash so badly that the dog got launched, and like it was awful. Like I saw even like we had fellow class members, like,
Mhm.
and there were people just crying sometimes because she was
Wow.
so harsh for the dogs. And no, I just we did like 5 lessons at hers, and I was like, I'm gonna find someone else to train
Uh-huh.
at, and then we found someone. Like she's just a one person trainer, and she
Mhm,
does training at home,
mhm.
and we're gonna take some classes at hers
Nice.
because she needs some lessons because she's pulling on the leash very badly. Like she is originally bred in Japan to hunt for
Mhm.
bears and like deers and all this like wildlife.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she's like very. It's like she's a hunter. She goes everywhere to just sniff on them. Like, I need to hunt. I need to be bussy. It's like, just please walk next to me. Just don't do that, Roxy. But we're working on it, and I think it's going pretty well.
Now let's go into hobbies that I mentioned earlier. Now, obviously, one of our hobbies or one of your hobbies is obviously streaming and playing games. Now, I want to go into a few topics here. So there's 5 here actually. So I'm gonna go first. Books. Do you read or read any books?
I am not a big fan of reading. I actually prefer to wait for the movie and watch the movie
Ah, okay.
than actually reading books. Like, I love reading comics.
Mhm.
But in the Netherlands, they don't really bring out that many comics.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the most comics are, like, brought out in America or England. So
Yes.
it's like,
Yes.
I'll just watch the movie.
Unfortunately, on my country, our Salcat language country don't have any kind of comics at all. Unfortunately, some have, but not really. Maybe just some Marvel ones, but I don't think it's really
Like,
rare.
it's not much. It's
Yeah.
not much. It's same over here.
Yes, but you mentioned movies. So, what kind of movies do you watch, or pick one of your favorites, for example?
Star Wars.
I
I really
mean,
love Star Wars.
okay. Other than
Okay,
Star
kind of
Wars.
stuff like sci-fi. I love the sci-fi fantasy aspect of
Mm,
things. I don't really like action movies or like lots of shooting
mm.
or comedy or like dramatic movies. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Oh, okay.
Like just just give me a Marvel marathon and I will be happy for the rest of the week. It's
So,
like there's this thing like I love Marvel. I love superheroes. Like I'm not getting happy with like James Bond or those kind of movies. Like I
mm.
just want to have a fast-paced movie with like a little bit of humor in it, and yeah, that's what I love.
Well, how about the horror movie genre? How about that?
The what kind of movies?
Horror movies.
Horror. Oh dear, I am having no.
No.
I
Okay.
love to hate it.
Okay.
I can't stand those movies. Like I am famous for my jump scares.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen me playing this other game called PUBG. I'm
Yes.
getting jump scares of the slightest things. Like if I'm live the stream right now and someone walks up to me and places a hand on my shoulder with me noticing it, like my heart will skip and I will probably just jump and like ah like no. Please a horror movie.
So you pass. So pretty much like the sci-fi genre and all kind of these stuffs. That is cool.
I should watch it. Like
Yeah.
the same thing with Batman. I've never seen a full Batman movie.
I think that's it
Ever.
for the interview. Thank you guys so much for. Okay. What the? What?
Yes, it's
You-
yes.
Like not even the old ones, like the '90 old Batman
No.
movies. Okay.
No.
Not even the
My
Christopher
family
Nolan
is not
one?
in it. Like I should watch it. It's just I might just start it with like the
Oh
cartoon
my
version
God.
of like Mark
Yes,
Hamill being the
yes,
Joker and just
yes.
slowly grow into it. But I've tried to watch the dark like
Oh.
I've tried to watch it and I'm like watching it. What am I watching at? It's like so slow. I don't know what's going on. Skip.
Okay. We're
Oh
not gonna
god.
go into
Sorry
it anymore.
guys.
No, how
I
about
was just
how about music? What kind of music do you listen to?
I love a lot of kinds of music. I love country, I love pop, I love 80s, I love 90s.
Hmm.
Everything except like hardstyle and kind of. I don't mind techno music. I think it's also in my live stream description because I get this question quite a lot.
You didn't
Yes,
mention rock?
like depending on the rock, like I don't really know a song out of my head, but it has to be like it has to have
So
a
for
certain
example,
kind of bass in it, and then I will like it. But if it's like very slow or screamy, like I'm like nope.
so okay, not like the streamy like. So you mentioned the '80s or the '90s music. So, for example, the '90s, one of the classic rock musical or bands is Queen. So for example, like that.
I like Queen.
Okay.
I like Michael Jackson. I like Queen. It is I don't know. Is I like a lot of music. I just need to listen to the song because I don't really have one favorite kind of singer.
Mhm.
But I just need to listen to the song and I will judge if I like the song or.
Okay. Okay. So you
It's the same thing with like music, like movie music. I love Two Steps from Hell
Mhm.
and Nightwish. Like that's not a movie, but those are the kinds of things I love. Like a little bit fantasy-ish
Mhm.
still.
Mhm.
Used in movies, but
Yeah.
everything except hard, like scream music and grudge. It's like it will give me an insta headache.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
By
like
the
no.
way, since you love that song and you love Nightwish, I'm gonna forget you that you didn't watch Batman, okay? Because Nightwish is one of my favorite bands. So you
Thank
got a +1 after that -1.
Yay!
So
By -10.
so how about TV shows? What kind of TV shows do you watch?
I don't watch that many. It's the same thing here in the Netherlands. Like TV shows are awful here in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
but I love to watch The Big Bang Theory together with my family. It's like on the television every evening around 8 to 9 ish.
Mhm.
I love to watch MTV, actually, MTV Catfish.
Never heard
People
of
are
it.
like, oh, it's basically people are getting catfished on the internet. So basically, a guy and a girl talking, and the guy falls in love with a girl,
Mhm.
and then you notice that something is odd, and it appears to be a guy,
Mhm.
and those kind of things. Like I love to watch it because there are some very good endings. Like, oh, it was actually this person, and sometimes they thought he was talking to like a 20-year-old girl, and
Uh,
it turned out to be a 60-year-old guy.
and how about the TV shows that are like series and stuff like, for example, like Game of Thrones or stuff like that?
Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. It's a thing like it's not here on the Netherlands. Like you need to have a certain subscription on like a vision thing,
Mhm.
and we don't have it at our current package. So I need to watch it. I'm of the people watching it online.
Mhm.
I love indeed Game of Thrones, and I also love Netflix. Like
Mhm.
lots of Netflix. I love Sense8
Mhm.
a lot on it. It's actually getting cancelled, so
Oh.
I really want to rewatch it. Breaking Bad is really good too.
Yeah.
I still need to walk the Walking Dead. I watched one season and I quit it after one season.
Shame.
And I still need to finish Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay, I heard about that one. But the last hobby that I actually saw you on a ton of time or pictures is cosplay. That you done
Yay!
some cosplay. So when did you get into this cosplay? Like, and what cosplays did you did?
I got actually into cosplay when I was 15 years old. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got into, like, the RPGs and roleplay when I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know about, like, cosplay events in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered the event in the Netherlands called Elfia,
Mm-hmm.
which is a medieval kind of festival at a castle in the middle of the Netherlands, like once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I dressed up for it. My very first time dressing up. And I tried to dress up as a Qatar.
As a what?
The Qatar,
Oh,
the
okay,
kitty cat
okay,
race.
okay. Oh, I just didn't heard it. Okay, yes, go on.
The kitty cat race. Like, that was my very first cosplay. It was just a budget one. I think I've spent 20 euros on it, 20 to 30 euros. It wasn't really much if I look at my current costumes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just with friends, they were dressing up, and after that, like, I was way too young to join the Rebel Legion and the 501st and the Mandalorian Mercs. Those are Star Wars groups, which are like, they're not really part of LucasArts,
Mm-hmm.
but they are sort of working with, like, companies and charities in the name of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
If I call it correct, like, you can place the links if you want in the description too of it.
Yeah.
But when I turned, actually last year, I joined one of the clubs with an official approved Vice costume.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I tend to cosplay one or two things a year because of the price.
Mm-hmm.
And the cosplays that I've done was the Qatar cosplay, which is I kind of burned it. I was like, it was awful. I even deleted all the pictures of it. I did from League of Legends, Lux, other
Yeah,
game. Then I
favorite.
got Lulu from League of Legends,
Mm-hmm.
Winter Lulu. I've played then my Vice Smar.
Mm.
I am working on the Mandalorian for
Mm.
the Mandalorian Mercs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the Royal Guard from Attack of the Clones
Mm-hmm.
version. And I'm thinking of making an Imperial officer or First Order officer. I have not
Interesting.
decided which one to do. I've not decided. It's a budget thing. Let's keep it like that.
Okay, okay, that's fair enough.
Because it can be quite expensive. Like the most expensive costume in the 501st, if you want to make it, is a Darth Vader
Mm-hmm.
costume. I'm not sure about which version from which movie, but I think it's easily around 10,000 euros.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
For
god. That is
10,000 euros for just one costume, and
yeah.
you can't even buy it, so you have to basically buy pieces all over the world, ship
Oh
it to you,
yeah.
edit it so it basically fits your body size and those things, or it's like a kit version, so you still have to basically spray it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the most expensive one, and the cheapest one are then the Imperial Officers, from what I've heard.
Mm.
Those are only around 300 euros.
Wow, that is crazy.
But then you basically join the 501st.
Hmm.
The 501st is the Imperial
Yeah, yeah,
side of
yeah.
the
I heard
costume
about
club.
that.
And you go to charities, you go to Comic Cons. The things that I loved about it, like the charities isn't a big thing here in the Netherlands.
Hmm.
But the ones we got called by a family, like, or Legion member got called, like the Legion leader,
Hmm.
got called with, they had a sick boy in a hospital and he only had a month to live.
Hmm.
And he was a giant Star Wars fan, and we couldn't go to the hospital, but in the end we made this video message with all of us being in costume, and basically we all sent him a postcard and just tried to cheer him up a little, because it was not getting better, like that
Yeah.
was certain, but at least what we did made him a little bit happier, like, oh, the people from Star Wars are thinking about me, like, and then the same thing with the 501st, and
Hmm.
that's what I love to do, like putting a smile on people who basically aren't smiling for such a long time because of their health.
That is respect for you, and for that. So that is a big respect. That is a really nice thing to do there. So good job for you guys and for you.
Yes, well, that's like those are one of the things from the 501st. Like they have a website and they're all over the world. Like I
Hmm.
think every country has at least one garrison in it.
Hmm.
But they have those requirements. So before you can join, you need to be 18 plus,
Hmm.
and you need to have a screen accurate costume,
Ah, okay.
and else you can't join.
Yeah. So it's time to get into Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now, my first question is, when and how did you get into Star Wars: The Old Republic?
I got Star Wars: The Old Republic 2011. Like as I was playing this other game called Hotel, my friends basically got to be like, "Oh, look at this game! It's like a role-playing game too. You can actually walk around." And I was like, "Huh, okay." And I bought the game. I just bought like I'm not sure if I bought the deluxe version or the regular version,
Mm-hmm.
but I bought it and we started role playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was in December, like around the 20th December when it got launched.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really got out of it again. I always stick to it.
As we see a lot of times, thank God you stick into it. Now,
Yes.
what are your favorite things to do in Star Wars: The Old Republic?
I think everyone knows it. I do a lot of Warzone, a lot of PvP, a lot of rank. I do love the chapters too.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the roleplays, like the stories in it. I did love roleplay,
Mm-hmm.
but I quitted the roleplay community for various reasons. Like, let's
Okay.
not go into that, but let's say they are not nice people.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yes, I did love to roleplay. I did love to PvP. I do love like the difficult things in the game,
Mm-hmm.
because I love operations. I love flashpoints,
Mm-hmm.
but I do love the master mode and the veteran modes,
Mm-hmm.
especially as a healer, because you never know what to expect. Like if a teammate screws up something, you need to heal him up, because else your team will die.
So
So
pretty
you're
much,
basically there, like they're like you.
so pretty much
You're
you love the
carrying. Like
challenge of this.
I love the challenges.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the challenge.
Okay. You mentioned so many things about Star Wars: The Old Republic, what you had done. Now, you started this at the beginning, so you have so many memories about Star Wars: The Old Republic. I would like you to remember one of your best, or some of your best memories, and share it to me. What you had in this game.
One of the best memories. I think it was in 2012. It's one of the oldest memories. I was healing. I was healing at Operation Explosive Conflict,
Mhm.
and we got to the first boss with the two dogs trying to basically destroy each other. And I think it was story mode, but
Mhm.
nobody was really geared, and they asked me to heal it, and I was like, I will try. I've never done this before, and everyone else died, and I was the only one surviving. And they were like, on the last boss, like I don't know what it's called again, but he basically jumped off the cliff and you had to defeat him to basically win that boss fight.
Really?
And he was on 5%, and everyone else on my team died, and I was the only one alive, and I managed to kill him.
Nice.
Those are the things. Like I was like, we were all sitting on TeamSpeak, and everyone like cheering at me, like, "Avie, you did it!" Those are the things that I like. It always stick to me. There was like I even got a print screen of it somewhere in my document. I'm not sure where, but I was like, I had to print screen it. Everyone was dead, and I defeated the boss. It was amazing.
So it's
It was really amazing.
more like one of your accomplishments, one of your best accomplishments as well. Is what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like I was new to the like operation thing, and seeing 7 other people so happy because we wiped at least 7 times on that boss, and they're like, "Oh, not again!" and we did it.
Nice.
That was really awesome.
And the next question, because obviously we all know you as a good, or let's just say an awesome PvPer now, and also you're doing ranked. Why did you stuck into like ranked and the PvP? Why is it only fitted your game style, not like the operations or roleplay and other stuffs?
I love the PvP because you never know what to expect. Like you get, I love to queue on my own, but I also love to queue with a group. But if I go into an 8 versus 8 game, you never know what the team will be. Like you can have a lot of assassins or a lot of healers, like sorcerer healers, or a lot of mercenaries. Like you never know what the team composition is. You never know who the players are, and especially if like you need to achieve something, like I use hypergates, you need to basically the best thing that can happen that you get both sides, and you just absolutely destroy the enemy team. But for that, you never know what you're facing on the enemy team too. So you constantly you need to change your tactics. You need to like think about what are they gonna do. Are they gonna defend with 1 person, 2 person? Oh, they're having 2 person. Can I cap it? Are they having cooldowns? Can I do this? No, I need to go to mid. And next round, they maybe have 1 person defending. In the next game, they maybe have nobody defending. So you never know what will happen, and I love about it.
Nice.
I love the challenge.
Nice. My next question for you is, there is obviously tons of MMOs out there, like tons, free to play to subscription ones and stuffs like that. Now, why did you stuck into Star Wars The Old Republic compared to other MMOs, which is like have much better community or much better gameplay and style and stuffs like that? You stick into this game. Why?
Because of Star Wars.
Everyone is
we first started to... Yes, because of Star Wars. Like, it's a very simple answer. Like, I was not really into playing other games. I had the Star Wars community, and they all started to play it. And I was like, okay, I'll also check it out. And we basically... you could basically sign up on the website, and you select your server and the guild to join when you start to play. And we all started on the Republic side. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And in the beginning, it was for the roleplay. But after a while, I was noticing, like, okay, I'm currently playing as Sage. I started off with Republic side. There are so many other stories. There's so many other classes. There's like an even other faction around there, like the Imperials. There's so much to do, and it was like I've been busy for almost 2 years to go through all the content. Because I wasn't like playing like 24 hours back in those days. Like I was playing like 1 hour per day, 2 hours per day. It wasn't that much, so it took me a while to get through everything, to get through every flashpoint, operation, storylines, side quests. So I did them in the end. I loved them. I still love them. I'm not gonna like it's got to a point that I like the end game more right now than the rest, basically. Like, I love to buy tokens because I've already played through all the other content so many times.
Of course.
I just love the war zones. So that's basically how I got into it. And there's so many other MMOs around there, like Guild Wars and World of Warcraft. I'm like, games don't really speak to me. Like, I love the role playing aspect of Star Wars, like the cutscenes, storylines, and that's what I love about this game.
Nice. I mean, pretty much if you are a Star Wars fan, but obviously you're gonna stay into this game because this is the only Star Wars game out here. Because I know uh, this is the only Star Wars game, but some of the people had enough, which is like okay. But if you are really putting in effort and time, and you just love the universe and the game itself, you gonna stick in here like pretty much forever until the game is gonna be here. So
Yes.
yeah. Now, I would like you to ask what was your first character and server did you started back in Star Wars The Old Republic?
I start to play as actually a shadow,
Mm-hmm.
a Jedi shadow on the progenitor. It was a European server. It is a European server. It's still there. Like
Yep.
they did merge servers, but the progenitor was always there.
Why did you move?
And I, I'm gonna be honest because I used to roleplay there. I used to do a lot of war zones over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I came to a point that the community wasn't the thing that I was looking for anymore. I had some very nasty experiences
Mm-hmm.
on the progenitor. There are some people who absolutely, I'm gonna be honest, absolutely hate me, and
Wow.
that's because of my Dutch honesty. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
If something comes into my mind and something is not fair,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of things in roleplay are not fair. Like they walk up to someone and they're like, we don't like you," and they just kill off their character,
Wow.
or they basically cut off both their limbs. And you're like, "Please don't do that to my character." And he goes to them in whispers on TeamSpeak, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do it anyhow."
Mm-hmm.
I will stand up for this person. Like, it's a game, guy. He doesn't want
Yes.
that. So many other options. Don't do it. And they're like, "Well, it's a character. We're gonna do it anyhow."
Mm-hmm.
And this person stops playing the game, or he makes another character and he doesn't like it, and he still quits the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it a couple of times happening
Mm-hmm.
because people were just a-holes. I'm gonna be very honest in the roleplay, and it also came to a point that happened to me. People were being so unfair, and they brought it even out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will spare you the details, but it came to a point that they started to basically, they want to have me out of the roleplay. They started bullying me out of the server.
Wow. We gonna go into that later. That is gonna be on the later
We're gonna go,
question. So we gonna go
but
there.
I moved from servers. I was like, I'm done.
Oh,
I'm out.
okay. Now,
But I have some friends over there still. But I don't mind the servers. Just some people who are like, no,
we gotta go there. Don't worry.
yes,
There is gonna be a question related to there. Now,
awesome.
so it's time to get into the big boy questions. 3 big boy questions for you. So the first one, if you could be Keith, so you could be the game director of Star Wars: The Old Republic, what would you do or what would you change?
The game director of Star Wars.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I would move to America if it was like that. And then work there. Like, I got a couple of people even coming to me like, "Well, but can they hire Avi?" And I'm like, guys, I have some ideas, but do I hire me? But I don't know. I really love the way how the game is, but I would go back into the Republic versus Empire part,
Mm-hmm.
because I have a feeling that they are drifting off the main story. If I look at like Kofta and Kotet, I absolutely love the storylines with the Cool and Ayakov, but I don't really have a feeling when I did Ayakov, that it was like, oh, this is the same kind of gameplay that I did 5 years ago when
Mhm.
playing the main class storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to see more like class rated storylines, not like one giant storyline for everyone else. So a Sith warrior or Darth is the same as an operative, like
Mhm.
as an agent.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing that I'm missing. And if I would be the game director, I would try to aim a little bit more towards that. Like, it doesn't have to go 100%, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That
Like,
that
I will do that.
that's nice. I definitely like. I'm not gonna say wanted to hear that, but I expected. Now, as a PvP person, you love ranked and stuffs like that. Now, what would you change since you know so much, or not just say, but you know a lot more than, for especially me, doing PvP? What would you change or add into the PvP? And in terms of like you looking at this stage right now, what would you change or add into the PvP stuffs right now?
There are a couple of things that I would love to change, like some like mechanic related or like gameplay related,
Everything,
but some
everything related.
everything.
Yes.
First of all, I would try to change the mindset of most rank play.
Mhm.
If it was possible, I would like to flick with my fingers and all the toxicness will be gone.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of people who are trying to avoid rank and regular Warzone
Mhm.
because of, I'm gonna be honest, because of quite a toxic community. Like, they go in and they don't know what they're doing, or they are like new and they don't know have never played PvP before or in that class, or they don't know what they're doing and they're just trying something and they get slaughtered
Mhm.
and their teammates can't handle it
Yeah.
and they're like, well, you are a piece of garbage, get out, never play this game again.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I want to change, like try to thin out like the toxic community because it's a lot. I'm
Mhm.
not showing it on my stream, but there's a lot of toxic community out there. Like,
Uh.
that's one of the things that I want to change with ranked, if that's gonna be possible, because it's a lot.
Mhm. Go
The
on.
second thing
Continue.
that the second thing that I would like to change are maybe different kind of game modes. Like, I've been thinking about maybe a 2 versus 2 option,
Hmm.
where it's like tank DPS, DPS DPS, or DPS heal,
Hmm.
fighting the same composition in the other team, with a smaller map, a shorter timer,
Mhm.
and maybe something in the regular arenas with like 4 versus 4 to change that you can't stealth out for longer than 1 minute without being in combat.
Mhm.
Because I've seen too many games where like this operative is sitting in a corner somewhere against 4 people alive and his team died and think like, yes, I can win a 1 versus 4 through acid.
Mhm.
And people, their boosts are running out, their stims are running out, and they're slightly getting annoyed, like, well, he's not gonna win, and he's still gonna go to acid. And I would try to add something into mechanics that you can't be in stealth for such a long period of time without being in combat.
Hmm.
Like, I would try to change that.
That is
And I hear a lot
something.
of people. Huh? Yes? Do you?
That is something that I would actually not thinking about. Like, never thought about, and that is actually a nice idea, especially the 2 versus 2. I mean, that would be sick. Like, to a smaller areas and stuff like that, or even a 1 versus 1. That would be nice because a lot of people love life challenges and dueling stuffs. I know the duel is all about that, but if you can compare yourself to other people, to like a really really small area and stuff like that, or even a 2 versus 2 would be really really nice. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add. So continue. What would you change a little bit more? Go on.
But about the 2 versus 2, like, I've also, I think it will also encourage more group rank.
Yeah.
Because right now, there's like this option group ranked 4 versus 4,
Yep.
but nobody is doing that because I know a lot of people were like rerolling work, like 1 mercenary healer, 3 mercenary DPS, and they just go in and just destroy everyone else. I'm like,
Mhm.
people are trying to avoid like this game mode, and they already got rid of 8 versus 8 ranks back in the day
Yeah. Yep.
to encourage more group rank to 4 versus 4. It came to a point that people are also avoiding that because, like, I think they should balance more in those things. Like,
Mhm.
that you can't queue with a group with basically, you can only have like one Marauder, one Sniper, one Sorcerer, one Juggernaut. And
Mhm.
not with like 2 snipers in the same team.
Mhm.
Or 2 mercenaries in the same team. Like, that would be amazing if they could also change this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have so many games. Like, I'm sitting there on my Sorcerer, or Healer, on my like Assassin. I would say like, okay, one mercenary in the enemy team. 2 mercenaries in the enemy team. 3 mercenaries and a sniper. Okay, they have 3 nets. And like a mercenary is like a cat with 9 lives. That's how I'm
Yeah.
gonna call them. They're having too many cooldowns. Like, no way I can face them. They're like a tank, a healer, and a DPS in one.
Yeah.
One of your DPS specs. It's
It
like,
is.
no way.
It is
No way you
crazy.
can defeat them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets me annoyed as well when I going into war zones and stuff, but I'm not really going into like aspects of this classes and stuff like that. I loved it. I mean, I love it right now, and I'm actually doing the storyline, like the bounty hunter storyline, for the first time. Not so long ago, I started like 2 or 3 months ago on my streams, and yeah, it is really really fun to play it, but at some point it's gonna be like no one's gonna defeat me. Like, what the hell is going on? Am I gonna change? Like, really? So
You're
it
like
is
an immortal god to
yeah,
one point.
yeah.
Like, you can face a Darth on your own as a mercenary, and the
Mhm.
Darth will die. Basically, they're like same in war zones, and I've finished the Bounty Hunter storyline like 3 years ago. I should really replay it, but they're too good. Like they're too strong.
Mhm.
They're really.
Also, I would like to ask, because you mentioned like a lot of stuff about the PvP. How about the open world PvP? How about that? Would you add something to open world, or you not really into that?
I am not a big fan of the open world PvP because most people. If you go to an open world instance,
Mm-hmm.
people are mostly trying to avoid you because they won't basically want to be chased by an assassin trying to level up.
Mm-hmm.
And but people love it because it's quieter on this instance. And but I'm not a big fan.
I
Like
mean,
I loved
well,
the Ilum stuff back in the
mm-hmm.
day, and I think it was 1.2 or 1.3. With like the Republic versus the Empire, you had those turrets, and it's a really long time ago. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, I
But right now,
absolutely
the
love
open
that.
world PvP is almost non-consistent. It's like it's almost gone,
Yeah, pretty
and
much they
it's a
tried to
shame.
do the same with IOCAT to just bring up the open world PvP, but it did not really happen because the
There
instances
needs
are
to be
being
more
done.
challenge.
I mean, I can tell you something since we're talking about that. I started at the Tomb of Freedom NAT server. So that was a PvP server back in the day. So every time I, for example, went into Alderaan leveling and or anything, there was another dude coming in and we just fight. And I absolutely loved it because there was like the challenge when I see a guy or maybe just a much higher level guy and I was like, okay, I should go away, or maybe if it's the same level as I, okay, let's kill this dude just for fun. And I actually missing that part when I'm just gonna go into Alderaan or whatever places, then I can see an enemy and just go in and just kill some dudes. I totally missed that because there was back in the day no special instances for PvE and PvP. Back in the day, there was a PvP server and a roleplay and a PvE server. Pretty much that's that. And if you into the
Yes,
roleplay and the PvE server, pretty much you cannot attack any other persons. But if you in the PvP server, that is a totally different story. I would absolutely love that.
I remember that. Like I used to play a little bit of ranked back in the day too on top of Freedom Net,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love to see more events like around open world PvP. Like
Mm-hmm.
as back in the day with the Ilum thing, like I
Yeah.
remember my old poor computer laptop thing could not handle it, but
Yeah. There was so
they
many
should add.
levels.
There was so many people in Ilum trying to destroy the other faction, and it was pretty amazing. And I would love if they would add something back into like because the ruins are still there. If you go to Ilum
Yeah.
and to this part, the ruins of this event is still there. So if they could fire it up again
Yeah, that
with
would
an
be
event
that
like every 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, that will be amazing.
yes.
Because right now it's like Rekul. You have what do you have more? You have Rekul. You're having Nightlife,
Gree event and
Bounty
bounty
Hunter,
hunter.
Grievance.
So
Like those events are there for years. Like if you're new to the game or you still need to like grind something from this event, people do it.
mhm.
But I got to a point that like, oh yay, the Grievance. yay!
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really challenge me anymore. Like, I
No.
got the rewards that I want to have, and it gets repetitive. And people from the game are looking for something new, something refreshing.
Yes.
And especially the older kind of players. Like, if you're new, you will love it. But after you've done it like 3 times, then you're like, can we get something new?
Mhm.
Oh, it's again the same cycle. It's getting repeated again. Oh, never. I'll go back to War Zones again.
Pretty much
So
that's how it's going on. Like, there is no
yes,
events. If we can talk about another event, that is the double XP event going on, or the CXP event, which is going on or not right now, but coming up really soon after like game update 5.5 or something like that. But other than that, I don't think we gonna see any more events, or we did not have any more events. And I think if you are one of the persons, devs, who are watching this, add it to your list. We need more events.
we're staring at you. Please do.
Yes.
Like, because people, if they want to play this game, and if you're really new, they will play the storyline and they will love it, and they go to the other storyline.
Mhm.
But if like an X amount, like they have 8 stories to go through,
Yeah.
what then? Okay, they do the expansions. If they are subbed, like if they are not subbed, then they can't do those expansions. What then? What will keep those people playing? Like, it will repeat after repeat. Like, would you like to watch the same movie for 8 times in a row? Or would you like a new movie as once in a while?
Well, you probably
Like,
watched 10 or 15 times like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers, probably, since you mentioned you don't need anything more than the Marvel movies.
once in a while, but that's the thing. Because most people don't watch, like, okay, I'm one of those crazy people who watch The Force Awakens 10 times in the cinema.
Oh my
But
god.
no, like, yes, don't even ask about it, but yes. But there are like most people, they will watch it once, and it will be twice if they go with friends, and they will buy the DVD, and they watch it after like half a year again.
Yeah.
And they will watch it again like before the Last Jedi comes out. Like, I'm gonna watch The Force Awakens again, just to see like the transition and just be in the Star Wars mood again.
Mhm.
But people don't really like repeatment. Like,
Nope.
same thing what I've done with the Inquisitor storyline. I have leveled over more than 15 Inquisitors in total. Sorcerers and Assassins. Like, I got to the point, like,
Jesus.
if I need a new assassin, I will buy a token, because I can't just... I'm just gonna spacebar through the storyline. It's like, please, save me. Save me, Darfesh. Please don't do this to me.
Oh my god.
It's-
That is
yeah,
crazy. That is crazy.
It's crazy. It's great. Like, as a roleplay, like, you want to have multiple tunes,
Yeah.
and they didn't have to do they didn't have to rename back in the day. So
Mhm.
if you basically in characterly died,
Mhm.
then you had to make a new character.
Mhm.
And like right now, you can rename yourself after every month for like I think 2,000 cartel coins,
Yeah.
or you go to GTN and you buy it over there. But back in the day, you couldn't, so you had to make a new character.
And level
And
every
I died
second thing.
and leveled again.
Yeah.
And then you died again, and you had to level it again, and like died in character again with roleplay, and make a new account again, or a new character, and then level it again.
Jesus, that is
The
crazy.
struggles from the role players back in the day.
That is crazy. Now,
So yes.
let's go in to one of the final questions, which is, you're gonna love this. It's the community about Star Wars: The Old Republic. I know
Woo!
you
Hey
said
guys!
I know you said some things earlier about the community. So first of all, before you getting into the PvP and the game and stuff like that, I would love to ask, because you, since going into the influencer program now, really soon, I would ask you the influencers about the community. What do you think, or do you know most of them, or yeah, stuff like that? How do you rate the influencer community right now?
The influencer community I love them. They have been so supportive. Like, I basically tried to get into the influencer program, and I've been trying to contact like Eric Musco a couple of times, and it's like no reply. And few influencers heard it, and it came to a point that one SWTOR Center even was like, "I'm now gonna email Musco." Like they're so amazing. They will just take you under their wings and be like, "Well, we're there for each other." Like the influencer community is amazing.
Nice.
They are. They really are.
Now let's go into the game community. First of all, like not the like I'm not gonna separate all three to PvP, PvE, and roleplay because you mentioned roleplay, so I'm not gonna go into that too much. But since you mentioned roleplay, what is wrong with the role-playing community right now?
The thing that is going wrong with the roleplay are like I know there are some guilds around and there are some players around and they love roleplay and nothing is like going on with those people. But the guilds are getting more exclusive and people don't really like new role players.
What do you
and
mean by exclusive?
There was even this guild, like it wasn't the academy, like it was an academy on the Regenerator back in the day, and it all started with the drama over there. But basically, they wanted to see your history of your roleplay, and if you could not provide them with like which guilds you were in and with the exact dates, they would force you to go back to Acolyte rank, even if you were a dwarf.
Wow.
They would strip away all your powers, and some guilds, like if you are not joining their TeamSpeak or their Discord, they would not allow you in. Same thing with Engine. They're like, you have to apply on Engine. If you are not doing that, you're not letting you in.
Jesus.
You have to be at least online 5 days, like 5 days per week. That's 2 hours, 80 to attend at least 3 events every week. If not, you're gonna get kicked out of the guild.
Wow.
That's basically the thing that happened with a lot of role-playing guilds. A lot.
Wow. That is crazy.
I used to be a guild master myself. I used to run this Imperial guild called the Shadow Guards back in the day. And I tried to loosen up with those rules, like, okay, the officers, if you want to become an officer, you should try to be there for the community. Like, I was very strict with it, like, okay, like the community, like the players, the members, didn't have to be this active. Like, at least try to join in one event every week. And at least like read the meeting notes from every Sunday. We had we had this meeting every Sunday at 8 p.m. Dutch time, and we would look at who was there, and we basically had this I had this Word document. I would type everything down what has been said in this meeting, and we would post it on the Engine website for the people who missed it. And it even came to a point that even had to make this rule like, okay, you have to be at least once a month in this meeting, else you will be set on inactive as guild rank.
Holy
and
cow.
It's just like it is pretty serious. Like for people, roleplay is their life. Like it came to a point for me that when I woke up, the first thing that I had to do was check the Engine website to see what was going on. I had like at least 10 messages every day with drama going on. And I was like, do I want this? I don't want this.
Jesus.
Like there's so much responsibility on your shoulders as a role player.
I'm so shocked about this. Like I didn't know role playing is like this. Like
for most people, it's like that. Like there's also casual players, and they do it with like a bunch of friends, and they aren't even in the guild, and just doing things for the fun. But people are like very strict. You have to follow the lore. You're not allowed to god mod. So basically,
wow.
I am a dwarf out of the sun while you basically are 10 years old. We can basically light force lighting everything. Like you can't do that, or like basically force choke someone to death when you're like 5 years old. Unless you're like Valen, you can't do that. Those kind of things, and the communities are very strict on it. And if you did that, you could get basically banned from this guild. Like, no, you're not welcome in. And those guilds are like at this circle, and they would have meetings sometimes. Like, hey, we kick this person, don't let him in.
Okay.
And like you're basically being shunned sometimes from the roleplay. And it's like I got to this point. It was like people coming to me like, hey, this happened, don't let him in. And I talked to this person. It was a very chill guy, and he explained what happened. And I was like, I'm gonna let him in. He's a nice guy. He got shunned for no reasons, and people like were so mad at me for letting him in my guild, and I was like, I'm done with the roleplay. I was
Jesus.
done. There was there was
Okay.
like people their second
I'm
lives. I was like,
I'm done with the role play now as well. I don't really want to go in. So
but some
okay,
people love it.
I
Like
know,
people
I
loved it,
know,
and
I know. I totally understand it, but this is crazy. Like this is actually crazy. I'm gonna say it, crazy fucking shit that is going on right there. That is, and I
but then
could.
this is some guilds. Like there are also guilds that are like very nice, but they're like so small, and it's like when you're online, that like nobody else is online, or you have to basically go on them and basically make appointments. Okay, Sunday 10 p.m. Let's go live. And I'm like, I just want to go online and just roleplay and don't basically plan in when I'm going live, like
Holy
live like in the game. And it's like, what works for you?
crazy.
It is what works for you, but it was crazy, and they came to a point like, okay, I don't want to be guildmaster anymore, and I took a break from this game for a couple of months because I really needed it. I was like legit burnt out. I was like,
That's understandable.
I came back and I joined this other guild, and basically the things that happened in this guild of mine, Shadow Guard, were basically haunting me all through the end, and I was like, I'm like more bullcrap happened, and I left the server. I was like, I'm out of the roleplay.
Okay, we discussed the roleplay. Let's go into PvP.
Yes.
You mentioned the toxicity. What's wrong with the PvP community?
I don't really want to say what's wrong with the PvP community. You can see it as you'll buy a box of apples with 10 apples in it. 9 apples are good. 1 apple is rotten.
Oh, okay.
Like,
But
there's
that's
nothing
gonna quit
wrong,
anyway.
but some people like this and that. Like they need to get rid of it, but it came to a point that they are not getting rid of it. They are still in the box. So, like the PvP community is amazing. There is so many nice guilds around, but I'm just gonna call them the elite guilds.
So
They're like you had to do a trial in it to get into those guilds.
So pretty much the PvP community is not that bad as the roleplay. Let's just say that, right?
People are telling that the PvP community is awful. I'm like, just look at the roleplay. Like, I love roleplay. I know some roleplayers are watching this, and I love the community overall. But there are some bad apples everywhere. And I've just experienced a lot of bad apples in the roleplay community. I'm like, I don't want to have apples anymore. I'm going for peers now. I'm going for PvP peers. So it's the same thing with PvP. Like there are some guilds around there that you have to do a trial to get into this guild.
Yes, that's pretty
and
much
you need to
everywhere.
basically, like you need to not everywhere.
I mean,
not everywhere.
When I went into a guild, pretty much everybody had a trial. When I went into the hardcore PvE one, there was a trial. How did my DPS and stuff like that go? When I went into the PvP, they tried to test me out how I know some classes, and then jump into the PvP one. So I think I had a trial on everywhere, pretty much where they said, okay, I want to invite so many people that we gonna conquest the whole world and all over the guilds. That is fine, but I think when I went in, pretty much everywhere had a trial somewhere, for at least for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing. Like, but some guilds, like they have this trial, and if you want to get accepted in, they will look at you. You need to queue with them. You need to be active, and if you're basically going solo, or you're doing something like you're fighting against them and you just screwed up basically one thing, and they will look at you and they will just kick you from it, or they think you're win trading. Also happened to a few, like they think you're doing that. They're not 100% sure, but they think you're doing it. They will also kick you from the guild.
Wow, crazy.
Like it's actually a really fun story. I used to be in this guild on the Red Eclipse. I'm not gonna call the name, but it is a hardcore PvP guild, and I got the Furious rewards on season 3, the season PvP rewards, and I basically they were never talking in the guild chat. They had 21 people online. Nobody was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey guys, how is everyone doing? Nobody replied. And I was talking to someone on Discord, and he said like, let's see if they will talk if you mention something about Furious. So I went in the thing like, hey guys, how shall I die by Furious set? With the black die or the white die? The chat exploded. It's like they only talk about PvP and there's nothing really else. Like, I love communities, but I want to have a community where if I'm logging in or I'm saying hi, that I'm at least getting hi back from someone, and that it feels like a family, like a home. And for the most things, like of how I experienced it, like it felt like they were just like a bunch of people gathered around in the same basically name tag, showing that like, hey, I'm a PvPer, I am better than other people, and that's how they want to see themselves. I didn't really felt home. I didn't felt like home in those guilds, and that's basically when I got to the point to.
Right now, right? In your own guild.
I made my own guild. I made my own guild, Night Owls. Yeah, it's like it's community. It's like a community guild, and people are doing PvE, PvP. Even role players are welcome. Like if they want to roleplay in it, I'm all fine. But I'm not gonna organize roleplay events.
That's fine.
I've done that. Never again, please.
Okay.
So
the last question that I wanted to ask, there is so close to getting the roadmap, and also I wanted to go speculate with you a little bit. So usually every late year, so like in winter, so like December and stuff like that, we usually getting some kind of expansion in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like 3 years now, we getting expansions and stuff like that. And also, we promised that we're gonna have a roadmap soon. So I would like
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would like you to ask, what do you think it's gonna be in the roadmap, and do you think there is gonna be an expansion for this year in Star Wars: The Old Republic?
I am not sure about the roadmap, and I don't think there's gonna be expansion 2017. But I think there will be one in spring 2000.
So you and what about the roadmap? What do you think it's gonna be in the roadmap? What topics and what other stuffs you gonna think it's gonna be in Star Wars: The Old Republic before the end of this year?
I'm trying to stay as blank as possible. Like I try to not read the dev post as much. Like I want to go and read the notes for the patch and just get surprised by it. Like I'm not like going into the forums and read everything about it. Like I love the interviews that they're basically giving with the podcasts, but I don't know. I think they're gonna change the utilities for some tunes. Like they're gonna nerf. Like I am really hoping that they're gonna nerf mercenaries. Like I will just beg them on my knees. I will make a video begging me on my knees. Like please, nerf mercenaries. Or give Juggernauts Pedicula. Like just do something. Like make it more balanced. I'm expecting for them to release the new Gods of the Machine boss in I think 1 month, maybe 2 months. I hope at least this year. Because like how many boss are there to go? Like 2 or 3?
2.
And it's like, but there are 2 out. But I think they're gonna release 3. Like if you go into this operation, you go to the step, like you go to Dive or like the Sisters, and you have like 3 others over there.
Yeah,
I think.
I think they said it, or Keith said it. They're gonna release the 5 boss, so all 5 bosses before this year. So it's gonna be released before the end of this year.
Like I'm gonna be very surprised if I will release it once. Just like, hey guys, have them all. Like that will be a big surprise. Yeah. If they want to release it before the end of the year, they better hurry up with releasing the bosses. Like it takes quite a while, but I prefer for them to like release a boss which is like 100% functional than doing a boss which is bugged.
Yes, of course.
So like I don't mind waiting, but being this quiet without releasing any kind of information about, like, hey, we're experiencing some issues, we're gonna late like with 2 weeks. Then
Mm-hmm.
I just let us know. Like, I hope
Yes.
they're gonna let us know in this roadmap.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully,
About
hopefully,
Warzones, I'm hoping for them to release a new map. Maybe
hopefully.
an Imbara map. I'm not sure.
Ooh, that would be nice, actually, to
Like
hear.
an Imbara map. Like, I don't know what to expect from it, but I think it's pretty awesome.
We'll see
It'll be
how it
really
goes.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, that's nice. If you're watching this, devs, notes for you guys for this.
Please, hi. Just take a note, please. Like, that would be really awesome. Like, I kind of hope that they will do more Republic and Imperials mixed with the games. Like, I think it's better for the queue pops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just as so Destiny ones, but then give them like the same thing in a new map. Then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the 4 versus 4 map. Like, it would be nice, but I think an 8 versus 8 would be better. Like, I last night did my stream and had like 5 void stars after another, and I'm like, are there no other maps anymore? Like,
Yeah.
like an other map like would be nice. So more maps to choose from, or to
Mhm.
basically go into the queue and get one would be really amazing.
That would be nice, yes. Indeed.
And about the expansion, I think it's gonna be in spring, maybe summer 2018. And I think it has to do something with Scion.
Oh, do you think?
Science from the school. I think, yes.
Hmm. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Like, I think with Farron going like all rogue and basically screw the alliance, I think there's a meaning behind it. And if you look really close at the thing, like, of this masked man, if I'm correct, I think I saw Scion markings on his clothing. And if you go into the lore, like, basically Archon killed all the Scions, and the remaining Scions basically went into exile. And I think the Scions are up to something. I think.
We'll see.
I hope.
We'll see.
I hope.
Yeah, we hoping. We're not gonna go into stories like that. This is just speculation, guys. So don't take anything this like serious that is confirmed or stuffs like that. We're just speculating, which we love to do.
We love to do. It's like I can talk about it for hours if I want to about why it should be like this or why it would be awesome.
Wish we have more time for that. Yeah. Now let's go into the final part, which is Twitch. Now, first of all, Aviriia is known as a Twitch streamer, but I would like you to ask, why Twitch? Why not YouTube?
Why Twitch? I actually got into Twitch before YouTube gaming was actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you want to do live streams, Twitch is actually the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can stream real life, you can stream like creative, you can stream games.
Pretty much anything.
I think if you like, you can pretty much stream anything. And I think if you want to go into Twitch, like into streaming, go on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, YouTube is nice. Like, if you're a big YouTuber and you have like thousands of followers,
Yeah.
and they will see that you go live on YouTube, then okay, let's do that. But if you're new and you want to start something, I would say go on Twitch.
Nice. Now, I would like you to ask, when did you start streaming, and what games did you stream? At the beginning, or like before, like you going SWTOR crazy?
I made my account in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And I started streaming in, I think it was November 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mostly because I got my Furious rewards and I was healing PvP against Star Wars. And people were like, can you stream how you're doing that? And can you talk about how you're healing and what your rotation is? And at first started off as like just streaming, let's talk to people, like show them how I'm doing all the things. It was just, I was covering my chat with a picture, and I don't really say I was shy with talking, but I was just doing my thing. I was not really talking and entertaining and having a schedule. I was like, I will do it. But my computer basically, it turned into a toaster. I did some updates with like Windows, and I don't know, but my computer couldn't handle it anymore in early 2015. So I gained, I think, 600 followers in 2 months' time
Hmm.
through
That's
it,
that's
and
nice.
it's really nice. But I had to stop. Like my computer couldn't handle it.
Hmm.
When I was doing Warzones, I got like 2 FPS. Well, if I wasn't streaming, I got around 30 to 40 FPS. So
Hmm.
it was quite different.
Yeah.
So I had to stop live streaming, and I also got like school stuff, and I went to do my study, and I just didn't really have the time for it anymore, and my computer couldn't handle it, and I basically didn't do it anymore. And it took like 2 years, and I did my computer upgrade earlier, like I think it was in June, May, June,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, let's stream it. Let's see if I can handle it. And my computer could handle it. I was like, okay. I love live streaming. I love entertaining. Um, let's do this. Let's go into this. Let's stream again. And
And now
it
where
went
you
really
are?
fast.
Yeah, it
Like it
is.
went really fast in 3 months' time. Like I'm still thinking about it. Like what happened? Like I think I just jumped on board on the train, like on the hype train, on the Twitch train, on the exact like on the perfect timing
Yeah, exactly.
because it was summer.
I
Like
think.
with the expansions, like people loved it.
Hmm. I think the streaming is like pretty much, as a lot of people saying, much popular now than pretty much like doing like whatever you want, like YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff. I think streaming is gonna be like the next, or now actually is the another big thing. I think at some point it's much bigger than doing YouTube videos.
It is. I've heard from YouTubers like others, like influencer and who are doing YouTube videos that YouTube is getting harder and harder, while Twitch is having a very nice policy of like you're live streaming, you
Hmm.
have the affiliate program, you can basically earn money, people can subscribe to you, and I might make a YouTube account just to upload my videos from the live stream on it.
So like the
But
highlights and clips, what you done on the
yes,
stream, yeah.
yes, and people want to have like guides, and I think I might just make a guide like how not to do war zones, like film compilations and those things.
That
But
is
it feels
nice.
like with Twitch, like on Twitch, it feels like a home.
Hmm.
Like I go live and I'm having my going live screen up, and I'm basically doing my announcements on Twitter and Discord and everywhere else. And people are slowly like dripping in, like, "Hey, how you doing, Avi? Yes, he's live." And I'm like, it warms my heart really to see
Hmm.
that because I've been there too. In the first, like, it feels strange, like if I say only the first week, first 2 weeks, but when you start streaming
Hmm.
and nobody is watching,
Hmm.
it feels discouraging. You're like, why am I doing this? Nobody's watching me. People don't like me. If you're just putting the like effort in it and you're talking constantly and like I'm talking how I'm talking, I'm also talking on the live stream.
Hmm.
Just be yourself, be open, be honest. Like like I don't really try to be funny, but just be yourself and
Exactly.
people just need to discover you. And I think got very lucky because I got a couple of hosts back then, and I think it really helped me because people saw it and like, hey, she's nice to listen to. She also knows a little bit what she's doing.
Hmm.
She's having a schedule. She has a Discord community. Like I made this Discord, like with only 15 people on it, but
Hmm.
people start to grow, and
And look
I
now.
think Twitch is just a place to be. And look now, indeed.
Yes. Just
But
look now what you have.
but I have to say I've noticed a drop in the viewer, like in the followers, because
Hmm.
in the first 2 months when I was streaming, I got around 20, 30, 40, 60 followers a day, depending on how long I was live, and but I don't know what happened. Like
Well,
I've noticed that multiple people saw that.
sometimes like content creators are struggling, especially that goes to streamers as well. Like you talking about the followers are not coming like up as usual. It's happened a lot of times with a lot of people. It happens to other influencers as well, and it happened to me as well sometimes when I just getting to like 1,000 sub and one time, and after that I went into 1,200, and after that it just stopped. I think it's happening on everywhere, not just on Twitch. It's just it's not about the struggling. It's about pretty much like getting discovered and just more people into the game. I mean, if you're playing, for example, different games, and I want to go into this question, if you just to remind me, because I don't know, if you actually streamed any other game than Star Wars: The Old Republic.
For me it was mostly Star Wars because my heart is with Star Wars. My heart is with Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to stream other games too because people in my community came to like, oh, PUBG is a shooter, you should play it. And I'm like, okay, like, oh, you should also stream it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, eh. So I try to stream my schedule days with Star Wars. And if I'm doing bonus streams, I will play Star Wars. But I also might do like an hour of other games.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I might do I'm gonna stream Star Wars Battlefront too. A couple of months. I think it's 2 months away. 1 month away. It's pretty close.
We're
Like,
gonna
yay.
play some together because I pre-ordered it already.
We're gonna stream together.
Well,
What about that?
We can actually. Well, when this video is gonna come up, yeah, I will back to streaming. But you guys, what I'm at this current standpoint right now, I'm not back to streaming. But when you're gonna be seeing this video right now, you guys notice that I'm gonna be back at streaming. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
He's slowly gonna conquer Twitch together with me. Hey, high five.
Yep.
But those are the kind of games that I wanna play. Like, I'm not this kind of player. Like, okay, let's play World of Warcraft. Like, I've installed it once, played 5 minutes, deinstalled it again. It was a waste of 6 hours of installing. I was like, is this it? I'm not gonna play this.
I had the same issue. I had the same issue. Started World of Warcraft because of a friend, because he told me it's really good. I told him I hate it because it's an MMO. Like, I have a personal story to this, and I will tell you guys and Avi Right this to, like, this story that nobody knows right now, but I will tell it right now. Basically, what had happened. Before, World of Warcraft launched, there was some sequel games. So Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, the strategy games. You probably know those as well, right?
I've heard of them. Never played it, but I've heard of them.
Now, I was a really, really big fanboy to the World of Warcraft 3. So the 3 and the Frozen Throne expansion. I was a big fan for that. Like, a really, really, really big fan of that. And I was getting to the point when I see the announcement when World of Warcraft is gonna launch, and they told the community it's gonna be an open world RPG. And I was so sad and frustrated about it that I don't want to play it because it's not a strategy and not how it goes. And I getting to the point when I'm gonna actually go in and just say whatever I want to that community, how many times I want to, and just bring me the strategy game what I wanted. And at some point 3 or 4 years later, one of my friends came in and he was really, really into this World of Warcraft, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna play it. Let's see how it goes. I made an orc warrior. Let's see, because I love the orcs. Let's go for that. And then, at the end, I played it 3 hours, just grinding some stuff. And then I said, nope, thank you very much, delete. And after that, never played again. I watched streams about it, don't get me wrong. Those are different stuffs. But to play it and stuffs like that, that is never going to happen.
Well, same here. I installed it. Like, my internet is pretty good, but it still took 6 hours to install World of Warcraft. And I played Star Wars, and it's like, where you basically go into the storyline, you get this cutscene, and you're like talking, you have the option like 1, 2, or 3, and I started playing World of Warcraft. First, I was confused of like, which server am I going to play on? Which server is what? What is this class? Why am I doing this? Okay, let's just pick something. And I got into this, and I just spawned, and I was like, grind this, grind that, run to place A, run to place B. And I was like, where are the cutscenes? there are no cutscenes. Install. Deinstall. I was like, no, this is not the game for me.
Yes.
I was like, I'm missing the roleplay part. Like, I don't want to
Mhm.
just run from A to B to C to Z and back to E,
Yeah.
and not really having a storyline.
Indeed. I mean that is the point. I mean, if those of you who are going into stories, I mean, I'm not gonna go into this anymore. Next question. Uh, how is your community in Twitch?
It is a small but very nice. Like, I'm still growing. I'm
Mhm.
exactly having 2,750 followers.
Mhm.
Hey. But we have a Discord, and the community is small but fine. I love them all.
Uh,
And I'm
go on, go on.
like, we have still, like, it's still growing, and they're always there. Like, how strange it is. Like, there are some people in the community, and there's this girl from Florida. It's like a 6-hour time difference.
Mhm.
And on my two of my 3 streaming days, I will stream at 1:30 p.m. my time.
Mhm.
It's like CST time, and she's there
Mhm.
almost every single time.
Wow.
It's like 6 a.m. for her or so, and she's still there.
Understood.
So it's like I'm sitting there mind blown. Like, guys, go to bed, go to sleep, get some rest. No, but I want to watch you. Go to sleep. I'm awake anyhow. Go to sleep. Okay. Enjoy the stream, but
Yeah.
I just call them crazy noodles sometimes. Like, just they're crazy, but I love them.
That
They're amazing.
Now, you mentioned one of your best memories or comments about Twitch. Now, do you or pick yourself if you remember why you're streaming some of your best and also your worst? So the negative and the positive comments that you have during the stream times that you have.
From comments from people watching in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I said, like, when I'm starting up the stream, it's like that's one of the things that motivates me to stream on the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, such positivity that you're getting from your viewers, and that they are
Yes.
happy that you're alive. And people are like, they see that you go live, they will drop what they are doing, they will rush at their computer, or they will stop their live stream and watch you. And it's like, it feels so heartwarming. Like, they have a thing that, like, okay, what I'm doing, people really do love it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also some negative things about it, because Aviriia, it used to be my role playing name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to be Darth Aviriia.
Mm-hmm.
So when people go to the directory and they see me, I got some people from the roleplay coming in
Mm-hmm.
once, and they started with some nasty shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I try not to swear, but they just started like some awful things. And luckily, I'm like having ban option and timeout option.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, guys, this happened almost 1.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't bring it to my stream. And those are the things that, like, I try to things that happened in the past, keep it in the past. But those people just have grudge on me, and they're like, oh, Aviriia, she left the server, now she has to go off Twitch too. And I'm like, no. No. Those people are not welcome in my chat. Like, I have some simple rules, like, no spoilers, no promotion for the channels, keep the chat friendly, keep in mind that some people are like under 18. If you
Mm-hmm.
have an issue with someone, take it in a personal chat, but don't take it in a regular chat. Be
Yeah.
reasonable and don't start drama, and enjoy this. Like, those are a few simple rules. And
I think.
if people can't stick to that, then my stream is not the place for them to be.
Yeah. Indeed.
like, no trash talking, no toxicity. I just want to have it friendly for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I want, like, I was so heartwarming. Like, it was a couple of days in the forum,
Mm-hmm.
and there were some things going on, and I made my comments about it. And don't want to go into it, but basically what this person said was, Avi, you're such a kind person. My son told me to go and watch you, and you're right. You are amazing to watch.
Wow.
Keep going on what you're doing. And I was like sitting there, aww. Like, that's so heartwarming. Like, that I'm making, like, that people from all generations love to watch my live stream.
That is
Like,
crazy. That is awesome to hear that. That
like,
is cool.
I even print screened it. Like, I was sitting on my phone and I was like, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, this
Like,
is awesome.
it was so heartwarming, and that's why I'm doing it for.
Mhm.
Because there are some streams that are like, oh, don't stream, you're awful, delete the game. Like, there's some streams around there, and they're like so toxic, or they're yelling at each other, like, oh, this person is doing bad at this, and they're like, I want to be a positive voice in the community, and especially for the PvP community, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm a trial influencer, and there are no other influencers mainly focusing on Warzone.
Yeah.
I want to give Warzones the positive voice that it deserves.
Yeah.
It is hard because I'm trying to show the people on the stream how fun Warzones are. Like, I got my chat covered.
Mhm.
I do it for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not to have, like, the chats from the live stream on the chat for myself. It's also to basically try to block the negativity from the in-game chat away, because there's so much nasty things that's coming to. Like, people are saying, like, oh, she's streaming, like, I got a stream once, and I got stream sniped. Like, people were watching me, and they knew what I was doing, because I said, oh, let's focus this person. And I got the comment, basically, that someone said, like, oh, she's losing for money. She's losing for the...
Oh, come on. No.
And got no brain, only boob. Those kind of comments.
Yeah.
I'm getting it a lot. And I'm like, just talk about, like, I got the ignore button for it, but I try not to ignore people unless they go really nasty about things. And those things, it's a shame that some people are like that. And sometimes if I ignore them in game, they go to the Twitch chat, and I'm like, no, don't, don't,
exactly.
please.
Just don't go into these conversations like that. So my next question is, what is your favorite thing doing stream? Like, what is your, like, general overall favorite thing or feeling? Or not just say feeling, let's just go for thing. Favorite thing that you have during the stream time?
During the stream time is communication with people who are, like, coming in. If they are already existing community members, if they're new community members, if they're, like, people completely new to the game, I love to talk with people. I can't play a game that's completely solo play. I can't play a game while not talking to someone. It's like, I love this community feeling, and that's what I love about streaming. And that's what I love every single day when I'm streaming. Like, if I'm streaming and the chat is quiet, I'm like, guys, are you lurking? Get out of lurk mode, please. I'm talking, like, it's like, they give this option, like, you have training online. Like, if you're gonna live stream, always talk.
Yeah.
Like, always talk. Like, never be quiet for longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I can tell you that's very hard. It's very hard.
Well,
especially if you're talking and nobody's talking in a chat for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let's talk about the cat of the neighbor. Even though she doesn't have a cat, but I think she has a cat. Like, you just talk about random things and just keep talking. But it is hard. Because sometimes it's like, I'm streaming in all those different times. For, like, I wanna stream for European people. I wanna stream for the people in America. I try to hit every time zone, basically, at least 1 or twice in a week. It's hard, especially if they're, like, all quiet, or they're, like, in the car, or they're, like, on work, so they can't type or listen. It's like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Now I want to go in to, like, one really interesting topic for me, because in the streams, because obviously I watch your streams, if you guys didn't know already, there is one really thing, like, let's just say thing, that is in this, in your streams, and that is that squishy thing. Now,
the squishy.
What is this, and how did that happen? What is that?
Squishy. Emperor Squishy. Squishy Aviriia.
So,
It's actually a game to the point that I actually was doing this master mode. I also writing. I think there's a chapter. Yes, there was a chapter. I was on the Kofta chapter. I think that I
Mm-hmm.
don't know which chapter it was, but you're basically on asylum and you're getting invited by the cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to get through. I'm still stuck on this chapter. I still need to do it, but I was trying to get through it, and I kept dying. I kept dying by 80k crits, and I was like, I am such a squishy. Come
Yeah.
on, I don't want to die. Why am I getting squished? And I kind of evolved from that one because
Mm-hmm.
I kept dying, and every time when I died, people were like, "Oh, squishy," and like, "Oh, you're so squish, you're so squishy," and it came to the point that I was just like, okay, let's get it into the stream. Let's make it a thing. I even made like a guild rank in the Night Elves. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm the squishiest. I made even some tunes called Squishy. Like I made a power tech and an operative, both called Squishy and Squishiest. And I got, I think it's called it's a shadow or it's my sage, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Even the guild ship is called the Flying Squid Man. It's,
Nice.
it's like I just got into the stream and people love it, and I love it too. Like I think it's like the official reference came from like
So pretty much the
like
community bring up this to you, and pretty much you
but like they
accepted
bought
it.
like I mentioned it once, and people are like, "Oh my god, squishy!" and like Emperor Squishy. And, okay, if you
Nice.
like, I love it. I don't mind it too. Like I think the original quote came from Finding Nemo with like Dory saying like, "You're squishy, then you're gonna be my squishy," and I'm like, yeah, the squishy is just a part of the stream now. I will never disappear. I think.
Pretty much like if you guys watching, for example, Sam a little bit more, pretty much like Wipe Central, like SWTOR Central, but Wipe Central, but everything Central. So pretty much the same. The squishy is like that. Um, now,
Yes, with the Plat Nation, and yeah, I have like the squishy thing.
yeah.
So
So speaking of Sam, I want to ask you about the other content creators. Who do you watch? So like, let's start with YouTubers. Which, like, mainly, first of all, SWTOR. After that, I'm gonna ask like other content creators. After like not SWTOR oriented, but maybe others like you actually watch like YouTubers. But first off, SWTOR oriented YouTubers. Who are you watching?
I'm watching you. Start with. I'm watching SWTOR Central, and I'm watching Kidley mostly. Like I'm terrible at YouTube. I'm gonna be honest. Like
Mhm.
I do watch YouTube, but it's mostly like when I'm really bored,
Mhm.
or when I'm like, okay, I need help with something, or it's like 5 a.m. at midnight and I can't sleep. I was just watching these random videos on YouTube, but I don't do much watching YouTube. It's actually quite a shame. I should watch it more.
Yes, you should.
I
Uh,
should. Good.
how about streamers and podcasts? How about that?
I did watch a Korean Run Radio. I've been also in an interview with them,
Mhm.
and to be honest, I don't really watch that many podcasts. Like there is the Council now every Monday night 3 a.m. for me,
Mhm.
and it's pretty terrible because they do podcasts on the website, and I'm gonna be honest, I totally forget it most of the time. It's
Mhm.
like, oh wait a second, they've actually released a podcast. It's it's pretty bad. I just need to schedule like, okay, this day is this podcast, and this day is that podcast, and like this week, Musco was with what was the podcast again? Passionately podcast.
Bad feeling
Here,
podcast.
bad feeling. Please cut that. Bad feeling podcast.
I will not
Oh my
cut
god.
this. I will not cut this.
Ryan, so sorry guys, everyone. I'm so terrible with podcast names, but I know their names. Like I know the streaming names. I know the Discord names, but I'm gonna get shunned. Please, guys,
Don't worry,
forgive
don't
me.
worry, don't worry. Just go
Don't
go
worry.
on to the point. What you wanted to say.
But yes, I don't really watch podcasts this much. I am more of a Twitcher, and I watch like Eleva.
Mhm.
She's currently like she streams I think 2 days a week Star Wars now.
Mhm.
I'm watching Kid Lee his streams.
Mhm.
I'm watching the Council their streams.
Mm.
And that's the thing, like when you're streaming, you can't watch others.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I'm
pretty
missing a
much
lot of
it.
streams.
Yeah.
I'm missing so many streams. So when I'm like usually upset, guys, I'm going to bed or I'm going offline, I'll just hang out a little bit, like for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe half hour, just see what other people are up to on Twitch, and
Mm-hmm.
I will host one of those people. I'm like, I'm missing so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy because there's so many other streamers around there. Like, they should just like people should watch them because they're absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I barely watch them because I'm asleep at those times or I'm live.
Yeah. It's pretty much how it goes. Our just live stuff's coming in, and pretty much you cannot go and watch it. Now,
Yes.
I want to ask the last thing is about other like not SWTOR oriented, but other streamers, like not particularly going into the SWTOR, but mainly you just love the person or the personality of that YouTube channel or streamer. So what other streamers and YouTubers, if there was any YouTubers that you watch?
If there are other YouTubers that I watch, there aren't not really that many YouTubers that I watch.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few like Kwebbelkop. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you know him.
Yep, of course I
He
know him.
is he's partnered with like he's working with Disney, but before Disney he was at like an other content creating group, so basically we'll help them out with all the copyrights and stuff. And I used to be friends with the owner of this company, and I
Mm-hmm.
went to events, and I even met your Kwebbelkop a few times in real life, and I just check out sometimes what he's up to. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch that many videos.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
I'm also like I'm mostly because because of my photography and my gaming like pisser like I was a member of this gaming
mm-hmm.
clan back in the day for like a year, but this game kind of just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know a lot of streamers because of it, like No Way NL. He's also a streamer and a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will just watch what they are doing, like if they're going on holiday, if they're vlogging, what they are streaming, how they
Mm-hmm.
are doing it. Like I love to see them growing too because I know them for years, and they also watch me sometimes. Like, hey, you started streaming 2 years ago. You quit. What are you doing now? And they will just watch each other.
Mm-hmm. How about
But
the
I
streamers in Twitch, like other than SWTOR? How about those?
not that many. I'm going to be very honest with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch many streams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Star Wars related.
No, no.
Like I watch like Edkey, I watch like Galadorn, I watch Central, but they are like all Star Wars streaming
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Maybe it's so not like SWTOR related, just other game related persons.
There are not many other games that I'm watching.
Mm-hmm. Good. So
Like not at all.
so you're loyal. So that is good.
I'm loyal. That's the right word. Like I'm in love with Star Wars. Like there's so many other games, and I don't know. I just can't bond them with those people who are
Yeah.
streaming it. I can't bond with the game, and if I don't feel the connection with the game, I don't also really like watching people streaming that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, yay, they are streaming. Like, there's one person that I'm watching sometimes, like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
He's called Leg Day Gaming. He used to also play on the Progenitor. He used to be in the same guild.
Mm-hmm.
After roleplay, we used to PvP together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's also known as Herons, and he left Star Wars for Overwatch, which is quite a shame. He was really good at PvP, but I sometimes just hop in and see what he's doing. And I see he's just shooting people in Overwatch, and he's talking to people in Discord. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm out again. He's
Okay.
busy apparently. He's not watching his chat, so I'm out again.
That's a shame.
Happens a lot that lots of live streamers are not watching their chat.
Mm-hmm.
They say hi, and they just straight ignore you for half an hour. Like, oh hey there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not
Well,
gonna wait half an hour to say a reply of people sometimes.
yeah.
I get too busy in the game that they don't notice that you're even in chat.
Exactly. There is some particular points
Like
about
that's an advice for like if you're streaming and you're new to streaming, be social. Don't
Indeed.
just stare at your don't stare at your game and just neglect the chat. Like
Yes.
check the chat every 10 seconds. every 10 seconds.
Of course. Because otherwise, if you want to have a community, you don't want to ignore it. Pretty much that is the main thing about it.
Yes.
So let's get into some rapid fire questions. So I want just some simple answers, okay? I'm gonna ask it. You want it, or just give it to me really, really fast, okay? Except maybe the last one, but yeah, actually, give it all.
Okay, I will try. I will try.
Okay, favorite story.
Inquisitor.
Okay, favorite class.
Sorcerer Healer.
Okay, favorite planet.
Alderaan.
Oh, okay, that is good. Dark side or light side?
Dark side.
Co-op or solo play?
Go up.
Okay. Best donation that you had on Twitch?
Bits for dollars.
Okay. Let's go for like dollars.
Both? Dollars? Okay, the best donation in dollars. $274.
Wow, that is nice.
Best bits is 18,000. 18,000.
80,000?
18. Not 80, 18.
Okay, 18.
1-8.
Okay. Best achievement. So not like what you have achieved, like actual achievement in SWTOR that you have done.
Not many. I don't really play with achievements.
Okay, so you don't really care. Okay, let's go for like favorite item that you have in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
My Furious outfit.
How obvious. Okay.
Very obvious.
And the last one, what are you gonna do if you gonna be partnered in Twitch? Or what are you gonna
First,
do?
I'm gonna have a party. It's like I'm gonna celebrate. It actually applied yesterday again, in the hope that they will accept me. But
okay.
I think I will just first faint off my chair, not believing what I'm seeing in this email, and have a party. Like, I'm really gonna celebrate it because like, if you get partnered, it's something big. Like, you don't just get partnered.
Yeah. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know Aviriia that much, now you're gonna know her really, really well, because she told tons of stories and tons of everything about the game perspective and her life and stuff like that. First of all, Aviriia, thank you so much for joining into this. Hope you had a really good fun. And
thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. And if you guys don't know her, check her out in the description. And that was it. And also in the comments, let me know who you guys want to see next into the behind the scenes in the community. Doesn't really matter if it's an influencer or not. Just let me know down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.